First, the highlights. Lagos State Drivers Institute flags of 2024 Ember Month Safety Campaign. Senate approves establishment of University of Applied Sciences in Kaduna State. On the foreigners in North Korea to cut off roads, railways connecting south. In sport, Iheanacho others to resume Super Eagles camp as team focuses on fitness in training ahead Libya clash. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. The Lagos State Drivers Institute Lasdri has flagged off its 2024 Ember Month safety advocacy with a call on motorists to adhere to traffic rules and regulations to protect their lives, passengers and vehicles. The advocacy took place at Ojudu Berja Park. Speaking at the event with the theme, Road Safety, Collective Responsibility for Economic Sustainability, the General Manager of Lasdri, Afusat Tiamiyu, stated that the program was designed to promote safer driving practices and educate the public on road safety issues, targeting members of the Road Transport Workers Unions and other stakeholders in the state.
That are coming here every year is not for you. It's just for them to know. You know, majority of them, because of the nature of their job, they say, hey, we cannot leave our vehicle, we cannot come to offices. We brought the messages to them. And the thing is, what even the number of people you can see, we have database. The last time we came, they don't even know the importance of driver education. But we look at the number of drivers that has gone up for training our agencies, it has multiplied.
On his part, Area Commander of the Ikeja Command for the Lagos State Vehicle Inspection Service, VIS, Taufik Ayeni, noted that as the year comes to an end, there is typically an increase in traffic volume along with a rise in road traffic violations. Ayeni said the infractions include route violation, excessive speeding, dangerous driving, improper overtaking, overloading, driving under the influence of alcohol, driver fatigue, and using a phone while driving.
Most road accident is always caused by human error. And how do you reduce it? Use your seat belts. Make sure that if you want to receive any phone calls, you park your vehicle so that you won't have this distractive driving. Don't take hallucinating drugs that will cause accidents. Have a good knowledge of the road signs. Have a good knowledge of the road signs and a good knowledge of the state traffic law in any state that you go to. With that, you'll be able to reduce it at least to a great percent.
The General Manager, Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, Olalikon Karaoke, who was represented by the Area Commander of Lima, Ojudu Berja, identified the need to be trained properly so that rate of accident and carelessness on the roads can be reduced and prevented. Commuters plying the Shagamu-Ijebu-Odiore Benin Expressway will soon heave a sigh of relief as the federal government is set to commence palliative measures on the 120 kilometers road from Monday, 14th of October. Minister of Works David Umahi, who announced this when he inspected the road alongside Ogun State Governor Dr. Abiodun, promised that the highway would be fully reopened by the middle of December for travelers ahead the Yuletide. Umahi explained that the comprehensive palliative would be carried out by a reputable construction company and be supervised by a team of officials of the Ministries of Works, Transportation and Environment.
For this one, I'm here with the Lagos Director, Controller of Works and Ogun Controller of Works. We have constituted a committee, an action committee, to liaise with your own team, the Commissioner for Works, Environment, Transport, and you came, all of them. You came here with all of them. And so, in an emergency situation like this, we have to look around for a competent contractor.
Responding, Governor Dakwa Abiodun appreciated President Bola Tinubu for keeping his promise of getting the Minister of Works to intervene not more than a week after he earlier inspected the interchange to Shagamu town section following distress calls from motorists.
This road is probably the second busiest road in this country, next to the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And it has caused our citizens, when I say our citizens, our southern citizens, untold hardship. Today, by coming, you are going to be wiping away their tears.
The Shagamu-Ijebu-Ode Benin Expressway is a major road linking Lagos through Ogun State to the southeast and south-south region of the country. The Lagos State government has urged motorists to continue to be law-abiding, uphold the Transport Sector Reform Law of Lagos State (TSRL), and respect officers of Vehicle Inspection Services (VIO). Commissioner for Transportation Oluwaseun Oshiemi made the call while making clarification on a federal high court judgment barring the Directorate of Vehicle Inspection Services from further stopping vehicles on the road, impounding or confiscating vehicles, and imposing fines on motorists. Oshiemi said a court has limits of its territorial jurisdiction, noting that the judgment is restricted to Abuja. According to the Commissioner, the State Transport Sector Reform Law, TSRL 2018, dictates Part 2, Section 11 to 22 of the law to the establishment, duties, and the power of VIO in the state, with the penalties or fines that can be imposed for traffic violations as contained in the schedule of the law. And now to the rest of the stories. The Senate has passed a bill to establish a Federal University of Applied Sciences in Kachia, Kaduna State. This followed the adoption of a report of the Committee on Tertiary Institutions and TET Fund on establishment of the university at plenary. The report was presented by the chairman, Senator Mohammed Muntari, who said stakeholders at the public hearing on establishment of the Federal University of Applied Sciences in Kaduna supported the passage of the bill. Muntari said the school would help provide scientific knowledge to the improvement and solution of environmental hazard and provide exposure to professional studies in technology. The International Organization for Migration, IOM, has released more than $1.8 million to address the urgent needs of people affected by floods across Nigeria. The funding will enable local and international non-governmental organizations to provide emergency humanitarian assistance to more than 180,000 people in Borno, Benue, Adamawa, and Yobe states. IOM Nigeria Chief of Mission and Interim Paula Pace said the priority is to ensure that immediate relief and support is provided to those affected, ensuring they have access to essential services and the resources needed to rebuild their lives. In foreign news, North Korea says it will cut off road and railway access to South Korea from today in a bid to completely separate the two countries. Its military says the North will permanently shut off and block the southern border and fortify areas on its side. The Korean People's Army describes the move as a self-defensive measure for inhabiting war, claiming it is in response to war exercises in South Korea and the frequent presence of American nuclear assets in the region. It marks an escalation of hostility at a time when tensions between the Koreans are at their highest point in years. In sport now, more players are expected to join the Super Eagles camp in Ikotopene, Akwa Ibom State. The Super Eagles trained on the practice pitch of the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, with 20 players on Tuesday evening under the supervision of manager Augustine Egwavoin. The team's coordinator, Patrick Pascal, confirmed that the team is expected to have a full squad in training today ahead of the AFCON 2025 qualifier against the Mediterranean Knights of Libya, with the expected arrival of Kelechi Iheanacho and other remaining players. Meanwhile, the North Africans are also expected to arrive in Uyo today and are scheduled to train on the Godswill Akpabio pitch tomorrow. That's it on the news at noon. But just before we go, maintain adequate distance from the vehicle ahead of you to avoid collision. You can follow us and like all of our social media platforms: X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed watch towers with alarm bells and perimeter fences in model colleges? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Drivers Institute Library has flagged off its 2024 Ember Month Safety Advocacy with a call on motorists to adhere to traffic rules and regulations to protect their lives, passengers and vehicles. The Senate has passed a bill to establish a Federal University of Applied Sciences in Kachai, Kaduna State. We also told you that North Korea said it will cut off road and railway access to South Korea from today in a bid to completely separate the two countries. Finally, sport more are expected to join the Super Eagles camp in Akotapene, Akwa Ibom State. For contacts with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adirayo Idowalaya. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good afternoon. Up next is Lunchtime Waka with MC Eyes and Timitope Boma Peterside. Good afternoon.